Welcome, everyone, to the Real Whovians cast, episode 701. I am your host, Matrixlord212, and I'm with Danette. What's up, Danette?
Hello.
Okay, so I saw this for the second time before the flood. Thank you. I got problem. It's like I have a memory lapse when it comes to these horrible titles, okay? So, I really wish there would have been better titles or something, but fine. They should have just called it The Fisher King, I thought. And the episode before, Ghost something, I don't know, whatever. But that's the titles that we get. Okay. So, I had seen a lot of comments this morning. Sharon said to me last night, she's like, I liked the episode. And she's not really a big sci-fi person. She's like, but from my perspective, being that I don't see too many episodes of Doctor Who, I thought there was really good lines. That's what Sharon said. And there was like a lot of emotion behind it. With this one loves this one loves that one. So, she's like, I think you really need to see the episode the second time. And also when we did the podcast in the background, she's like, no, you got to watch another time. Originally, I had rated it a 5, and 6 is passing.
Right.
So I decided, all right, let me go back and see why am I so just not liking this episode? Because from what I've seen, people have commented and I said crazy things on the comments, which I don't know if we're going to read it on the air. And again, also too, I did make an announcement, guys. Look, just like in comic books, when you have like 100th issue, 200 like monumental issues, sometimes like the whole thing is that it's not like it's a TV show we have here where it's like a real TV show where you have like the monumental 100th episode and season finales. We're doing a fun podcast, whatever, and it's like, I'm not going to hold the episode back if there's like not enough people, whatever, or if like people are doing things or whatever. 700 comes, 700 comes. We keep going. Show goes on, So there's no pressure with me where, oh my God, I got to have this episode of Real Whovians Cast better than that episode. More people here, special guest stars, whatever. We may have the episode 702, 703 be like you. So, for those of you who are looking for this massive, massive anniversary thing, I did the anniversary of the 2-year anniversary of the Real Whovians. This was like a 700th episode. The way I make podcasts, 800 will probably come in a month. So it's like, you'll have another chance to have an anniversary episode if you want me to make it special. But, every time we go to, we do so many videos. I do so many videos on Matrixlord212 that after a while, there's always going to be an anniversary episode. And it's not really special. 700 is a big deal for podcast-wise for Doctor Who because no one's ever had 700 episodes of Doctor Who podcast. And I understand that. But it's got to be special, once in a while. It can't be every 100th episode be special, because then it's way too much pressure. And also the fact that we do like, I don't know how many Real Whovians in a month. So we could literally have, before Thanksgiving, the 800th episode of the Real Whovians cast, okay? So that put that aside, I know people are like, what a failure of a Real Whovians. You didn't have like 20, 30 people, 50 people. Oh my God, you didn't. Look, and again, I'm not going to be fake, okay? If I don't like the episode, I'm not going to put a smile on my face and be fake and saying it's 10 out of 10. It's not for me, And it sucks but just because I don't enjoy it doesn't mean all these members of the Real Whovians cast don't enjoy it. You guys have different opinions. You may love the episode. And that's what I want. I want to focus on everybody else's opinions of the episode. It's not just mine, even though it's my show. So I saw it again. And again, I'm going to go detail by detail what I had a problem with. And you can tell me, Danette, on your opinion, if you feel the same way, or I'm totally off base in your opinion or whatever. Okay, so I have a massive problem with the beginning. With the, we don't know if the audience is smart enough, so let's insult them and create this whole story that is just nonsense that has nothing to do with the episode. Like, I am against when they take away from the episode for a nonsense piece that's a couple of minutes that just we're into it, like, oh my God, what's gonna happen with the ghost? The doctor's dead, whatever. And then we get like a, hey, I went back in time and met Beethoven. Hey, I wrote it. What? Hey, but I don't like that. Okay, I want to focus on. We just saw he's dead, so let's get into it. Like, don't think we're stupid people to figure it out. Let us figure it out ourselves. Okay. By doing that, it insults the audience. It insults me. So this whole thing where he even said this didn't really happen, by the way, meaning that Beethoven's really alive. He didn't really compose Beethoven's symphony. He basically said that the story is bull crap. Okay, so, but according to it being a theory on Google, whatever. Okay, so right off the bat, before even seeing this episode, I said the doctor's going to be in that pod, that suspended animation thing. Okay, and I'm not like an old crone complaining negative person. There was an episode of Torchwood where Captain Jack Harkness was inside the thing.
Yeah.
Okay? It was written by Russell T. Davis, right? I think pretty much.
Right.
The showrunner of Doctor Who before Moffat, okay? There was also, and so right off the bat there, okay, we have that something like that has happened already in the Doctor Who universe by the former showrunner of Doctor Who. And you know me, I'm all for original stuff. I don't like when people copy from other people's stuff, especially in the Doctor Who thing. So there was also an Amazing Stories episode by Steven Spielberg when he had a TV show where the guy goes back in time to meet Elvis. Elvis dies, and he has to be Elvis. Okay, which is like the Beethoven thing that they were talking about. Okay, creating the future without any change or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like that. But that's fair enough. Okay? We start off the episode after that nonsense piece. And immediately, I liked what I saw. I said, okay, this is like a classic Doctor Who feel. There's no pressure about the Doctor having the greatest companion that could go through the time stream. The companion didn't have to be like, supermodel, or the guy didn't have to be ridiculously living 2,000 years like a Roman, whatever. I mean, this was just two people traveling with the Doctor, no pressure, and they were cool. All right? I found it pretty interesting. I got attached to the O'Donnell character, sort of like other people, and I think even Connor was attached to Shauna from Last Christmas. All right, I wasn't really attached to her as a companion, but this one was like my Shauna. This was like O'Donnell was like, okay, she could be a companion. I like her as a companion. Okay, she's a member of UNIT. But she's technically not a soldier, so he accepts her as a companion, even though he didn't say that she won't be, but she could have been. Okay?
She kind of reminds me of Donna a little bit when that scene when they're telling her to stay in the TARDIS, and she's like, don't tell me what to do.
Right. She was like Harry Sullivan and Sarah Jane traveling with Tom Baker, the Doctor. Okay?
Right.
Fourth Doctor.
Yeah.
So I liked it. I'm like, okay, we got a breath without Clara. This, you know what? This is good. This means, maybe she's the companion. Maybe he's the companion. Maybe Clara will leave, come back in the finale. Who knows? We really don't know. This is cool. I like this. We also see that the emotional turmoil of Clara seeing that the Doctor's dead. And we get to find out that she's really weaker than we thought she was. Because who knows if she was going to kill herself for something crazy. I mean, her life was meaningless. And she went with the Doctor and she says, you can't do this to me now. I can't take it. Like, I won't be able to get past this. God knows what's going on ahead. Even the guy is doing a little dialogue with her and how could I help you knowing that your friend's dead? That affected me. I'm like, oh, this is good stuff. This is good dialogue. Like, man, and she's like, if you love me, okay? And you get the impression, yeah, regardless of age and what he looks like, she's hooked on him, like she's in love with him. They even said in the Christmas special, I was always waiting for that impossible man, meaning the Doctor.
Right.
Never happened, so I never married anybody else. Okay, so regardless of her generation, she's mad. She would like to be with the doctor. She don't care. She sees beyond this because it's like there's always different faces. She could have been his wife, Clara. So I started enjoying this. Like I'm like, okay, and this is getting deep, like freaking deep, man. I mean, it's like really getting in there. Like, and I'm like, wow, I like this episode already before. But then there's other things that came into play that really screwed up my whole perception of the episode. So I was enjoying that, and I see the doctor's turmoil, the way he's acting. He's like, I'm gonna die. I have to die. But it's like the old expression, well, love is more powerful than anything. So he's in love with her, I'm sure. She's in love with him. It's not just a little friendship thing. And the hell with time, screw type of thing. So I'm liking that. I'm like, okay, man, now I enjoy this better than Under the Lake. Okay? So I can't have a problem with that. So we get into it, and I'm like, okay, this guy was like the creature from like God complex, those annoying race. Not every race you're gonna like. This is the race you're supposed to hate. Okay. I had a problem all of a sudden. One being that what the hell was the purpose of the ghosts? You're walking around the ship, and what was the overall thing that they were supposed to do? Were they supposed to kill people to make more ghosts?
Yeah.
And if you make 1 million ghosts, what's the purpose of that? Like, unless what? Like the Fisher King's alive and he has an army and he brings them back to Earth to get him, or whatever? What? Like, what's the? So I guess he didn't know he was going to die with the flood. Whatever. Okay, so that I had a problem with. Like, I didn't see what the hell their purpose was. Like, just walking around like whatever. Which means, basically that's what ghosts do. I guess there's no purpose to ghosts. It's just like what the hell their purpose is. So I accepted that afterwards. But so then I said to myself, all right, he can't die because there's a trailer. He's not dying, whatever. And I kept saying, Sharon, I'm like, he's going to do something with the electromagnetic field, and he's going to create the purpose of the ghost, and create the own future, whatever. So once O'Donnell died, I was like pissed off. Instant. Like, damn it. You had a good friggin' chance to have a companion spring it on the audience without us even having time to accept it or know it, because half the times we get spoiled with things. Now you could have a companion that we didn't even know existed, that could have went throughout the episodes. A perfect opportunity, a great character, an interesting character. She had anger management issues. She worked for UNIT. She knew the Doctor's history. She was like an Osgood, but she was like, I'll break your face type of Osgood. Okay? So I'm like, this character, this tough character, I expected her to beat the living crap out of the Fisher King or like whatever. And so immediately when I seen her, and when she turned around, right, and looked, right away I said to myself, this is fake. And you said, why, Joe? Why, Matrixlord? Because the Fisher King is like 8 feet tall. And you're looking at a straight line. So if he's going to kill you, wouldn't you look up and say, oh crap, I'm going to die? You're looking straight at it like the person's 4 feet tall. Okay? Now, I guess we didn't see the Fisher. Well, we kind of saw little bits of Fisher King before that. So if you're going to die, why don't you just go out fighting if you're so aggressive and you whatever, just stand there, and just die, So I had a problem with that. Because, I'm not trying to pick. But if the guy's 8 feet tall, I'm going to look like, oh, crap, he's 8 feet tall. I'm going to look up. I'm not going to just stare at his chest. Especially if I'm dying, too. I'd be like, well, I try to run another way. But, okay. So then she's like, says, stuff to the guy. And I guess they both loved each other, but they didn't tell each other they loved each other, which is a powerful thing to this guy. Okay. It was like elements of other episodes. All right. Now, from what I said so far, I don't want to keep rambling and then you not speak. So go play what I said. Now, you tell me your opinion.
Well, I agree. There were some points in it that were like ridiculous. Like, why have that in there?
Right.
O'Donnell, I kind of liked her, but I don't know if I'd want her as a companion.
Right.
But Yeah, I don't understand why she just wait when she turned. I don't understand why she just didn't run. Why stand there?
Yeah.
That was yeah. But
And she had her own outfit. She had her own companion outfit. I mean, she was in, whatever duds before, and it's like, all right, I'm going to give you a scarf. Hey, you want this? You want this jacket? Try this on. It's like, okay, you got them all dressed up like, hey, they're going to be companions.
mhm.
I know it was cold, I guess, in Russia, but still, she looked like, okay, this felt like a classic thing, like Sarah Jane Smith and Harry Sullivan. So I was like, from my own perspective, I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is cool. No pressure. Anybody can be companion. Like just, well, they have to be special to be a companion, but okay, they don't have to like do crazy things. So when she died, I'm like a little pissed off. So that kind of got me annoyed.
Yeah, I thought it was a waste.
Yeah, and then the guy's purpose. What was his purpose? Like I'm trying to say, okay, he's coming with them, right? What does he do? He's like, okay, they try. He says, Doc says, screw it. I'm gonna, you know, go to the future. I'm not gonna die. Whatever. The TARDIS is like, no. Okay. So then they go back a half hour before, just like Father's Day, where the Ninth Doctor and Rose appeared behind themselves. And he's like, oh crap, we can't do this because then the creature's going to come from the sky and go, like all crazy stuff's going to happen. People can eat people like the Father's Day. So you don't want to deal with that. She's like, we can't alter anything. So, but then it's like you get the fans upset. You see, like they show O'Donnell again. And he's looking at her from his eyes, like she's the most beautifulest thing. She's innocent. She's this. She's special. And it's like she's gone. And it's like, what are we really trying to convey here? I was like, so.
Well, I like that he calls the doctor on his, and says, "You're now you're just doing it because Clara's in trouble."
Right.
Because he's like, we can't change things. We can't do this. We can't do that. And he's like, bull crap. You're doing it because you want to save Clara.
Right. See, like I had talks with Sharon and a little bit with old Doc today, right? And Sharon, we were getting ready, to go out this morning to get breakfast, whatever. She was going to go to Weight Watchers, and I was like, she's like, like it's like reality. Like if something happened where I was going to be in jeopardy, like Sharon was going to die and someone else, she's like, you saved me because you love me, right?
Right.
So why is it hard to believe that the doctor would save Clara and how would everybody else? But I mean, if he could save everybody else, okay. But his main objective is I can't be dealing with I'm going to save O'Donnell, save this one. I'm going to save Clara. So I was like, you're right, Sharon. I mean, I didn't think of it that way. And it's like, old Doc's talking to me. He's like texting me. He's like, not every episode has to be like the friggin' season premiere with like, and I said, I understand that. I do understand that. And I am all for regular episodes, but there was things in here that annoyed me that outweighed what I enjoyed about the episode. So going forward, the Fisher King, okay? They advertise the crap out of the Fisher King. They promote the Fisher King. Oh my God, the Fisher King, the Fisher King, the Fisher King, Fisher King. This guy from this band is going to be in the Fisher King music video. Oh my God, the greatest villain ever, greatest villain. Okay. We get like, first of all, he sounds like House from like the Doctor's wife. So I was kind of turned off a little bit. I'm like, here we go again, right?
Right.
And then it's like, Doctor's talking to him, and he's like, he knows he's a Time Lord. So now it piques my interest. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
this
like,
guy.
How does he know that?
This guy kind of conquered some things. He's not a little deal. He kind of like conquered worlds. All right, he's been around space a little too much. Where I know who Time Lords are. Okay, this guy's interesting, right? But then it gets where I see the Doctor's pissed off, and I like the speech. He's like, "This is where your story ends." I'm like, yeah, I like that. That's cool. But I didn't like they had to reuse the music from like Death in Heaven. Like, I'm an idiot. I travel in a box. This is, let's get a little more different composing. Like, just create a little different theme. Like, it's just stupid because it's like every time he does a speech, you're going to play the same music. You know, like Death in Heaven. He's like, I'm an idiot traveling through time in a box. I'm not a hero. I'm not a villain. Yeah, like whatever, right?
Right.
So again, it's like, to me, it's like the cornball moment. Even though he had a great speech, you got the stupid theme music that was already reused. He's like, I'm gonna stop you. This is where your story ends, and it's like, okay, they ruined it for me, that part. Even though it was a great speech, the part where all of a sudden this guy died before we even got to really know him, the Fisher King. He could have been reused, mind you, in many an episode. He could have been a reoccurring villain. Okay, we're dying, we're starved for new villains that can keep coming back and everything, right? He got like I want to say the word, but I don't. He got bitch slapped basically. The doctor kicked his ass, right? He's like, get the fuck, whatever. He just kicked his ass, like. So, like, to me, it's like he was just like a big goof. Oh, you're the Fisher King. Here I come. And then it's like he walks outside. He's like, the doctor lied. And then I laughed when I saw him get killed. The Fisher King, like he gets pulled back like super speed. So we get that part's over. I get the doctor goes in the thing, but then I'm saying to myself, okay, the Fisher King's dead, but then the ghost is still walking around. Like, what the hell is the purpose of that? What is the purpose of everything? It's like he's dead, so shouldn't his mind control thing be over? Shouldn't like what does he want? Like, even if they become ghosts, they're not going to do anything. They're just going to be ghosts. They're not going to be foot soldiers in his army because he's dead. So what the hell was the purpose of the episode? And then I started getting like, okay, the sonic glasses thing pissed me off because it's like, this is crap. Give me the sonic screwdriver, but whatever, right?
Right.
I like the fact that Clara got to help the guy because he was in love, and she's hurting. See, that's interesting. Now we could play on that the next episodes. But then it's like, this one loves this one, this one loves this one, this one loves this one. How many people love each other? Like, did the soldier guy love somebody else? Is this like what happened here? You're here for years and you're in love with everybody. Everybody's in love with everybody. To me, it was like, really? I mean, that's possible. Okay, but let's go sing Kumbaya. I don't know. I mean, what are we trying to do here? So, okay, this guy got hooked up with this guy, but now this guy's going to become like a villain companion. I could see that guy.
Right.
Say, you know what? I'm going to have kids. One of my kids is going to name Kovarian, and she's going to kick your, something. I could just see this guy being like a threat in an episode. Totally says to hell with it. Why do I have to go with the way things should be? I don't have to. Yeah, I'll go on traveling the galaxy, finding a way to wreck you because I can't stand you, Doctor. I mean, not everybody's going to like the Doctor. So after that, he could have a freaking whole opinion of the Doctor, saying he's a selfish piece of, and we could have a proper villain.
Yeah, that would be interesting, I would think.
Right. I mean, there are people that the Doctor affects that they just become like Mount Bavarian, just kidnapping your companions and altering their genetic structure and popping out a Time Lord baby and then kidnapping your kid. I mean, that's what happens. There are villains that are created because of the Doctor's things. So let's let that guy be a villain or something. Because, I mean, he's miserable.
Yeah, and you were saying, that everybody loves each other. This one loves this one. Kind of remind me at the end of Hyde when,
right.
The aliens got together and, walked off.
Right, and the Warners, gave birth to a baby that was like the precursor to Danny Pink because they tried to reuse the idea and it was not Danny Pink but it was a female whatever. And I'm like, okay, it's like, yeah, I liked Hyde though. See, there's a difference.
Hyde was good.
There was a difference. I liked Hyde because it was different. Mm-hmm. To me, I had a problem with the plot. What is their purpose? What are they doing there? The guy's dead then what? So now what happens? They're still around, walking around for no reason, just going to kill people or make people ghosts. I mean, what is their purpose now?
They said something about disconnecting the Faraday cage and just leaving it there. And
Just throw it in the water and just let them walk forever, eternity.
I guess. I don't know. They
Right.
really didn't go into it.
Now, someone had explained to me that, oh, now the Doctor is 150 years old. And I said, oh, yeah, okay. No, he's not, actually, because when you travel in space at the speed of light or whatever, he's not sitting in there for 150 years. It could be a 15-minute trip that from 1980s Earth or whatever, like space flight, and he goes to that, whatever goes into space and then comes back or whatever. It could be that it's not sitting there for 150 years. It could have traveled 10 minutes where they found the ship, and then boom. I mean, like they found the ship where? In the water?
They said it was, somewhere in the water.
Okay, so if it was in the water and it didn't go anywhere, then it was there for 150 years, I guess. But it was a suspended animation pod, so he didn't age, technically, because that's what they do, like, whatever. All right, so, I mean, technically, I don't see him as 150 years older because he was put to sleep until that moment, and then he woke up, but whatever. He's not going to be laying there for 150 years without eating. So he's in suspended animation. Yeah. So he's kind of not 150 years old. Like, he's in suspended animation, So, hey, good morning. I'm doing a podcast with Danette. So, Danette says hi.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, so my rating is no longer a 5. Okay? My rating is going to be like a 6.5.
I was just gonna say that. You watch the episode again.
Yeah. Meaning 6 is passing, okay, it passes, but I have problems with it. So, again, we had Magician's Apprentice was a 9, right? I think I gave Witch's Familiar 8.5.
Yeah.
I gave the Under the Lake a 7, I think. Did I give it a 7? Or I didn't rate it. I don't remember.
I think we didn't rate it because we were going to watch this.
Yeah?
The last episode.
I'm giving it a, well, no, actually, I don't like it more than, all right, so then if that's the case, it's going to be as a whole, 6.5 is going to be after, God, these titles. Oh, God. You want to know why I can't remember the title? Because I hate the title. It's boring to me. So I can't remember something I don't like. So, okay, so Under the Lake is going to be a 6. And Before the Flood is going to be 6.5. All right? That's the way it's going to stand.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because
Yeah.
is it the best episode? No.
No.
But it was good.
The plot whole city, though. Then the worst is he tries to explain it again, the Beethoven thing. Like, who created Beethoven? Well, obviously not you, because you said the story doesn't exist and it's fake. So it's like, okay, I get what you're saying, but how did I get the idea to remind myself to Clara and this and that? I don't know. Whatever, man. I don't like it.
I think they did that on purpose to make you think and to draw your own conclusion as to how.
Right.
But still.
Right. All right. So why don't you tell a little bit about what you thought of it, if you reflect on it anymore. And I'll try to get the comments ready to see if we can even say the comments, because I know some of the comments are real rated R, I think. So.
Well.
Yeah.
Well, when I thought about it some more, I liked it a little more than I did when I did the last podcast. Because when you think about it in Under the Lake, you see him using the glasses and you see him use Clara's as a hologram, which is how you could figure out how he did it in the next episode, because the ghost him was a hologram. So you kind of, when you put two together, you kind of figure out this is kind of where they're going with it. But when you you have to think. It's kind of one that makes you think a little bit, but you're still kind of like, this is really still plot hole city, which I've heard other people talk about the plot holes and stuff, and I'm like, well, when you do a show with time travel, you're going to have plot holes. I mean, there's no way around it.
Right.
So you're going to have to accept some plot holes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought the writing in certain places was really good. Like when he's talking to the Fisher King and he's like, you know, you robbed these people of their deaths. You made them nothing more than a message in a bottle. You've violated something more important than time. You've violated the rules of life and death. So I'm putting them straight. This is where your story ends.
Right.
Because they talked about, you know, the message in them, which is when they looked at the numbers on the side of the, and he's like, this is where your story ends. This is where your message ends.
Right.
Which I like. Which I thought was a...
I did like when this is how your story ends. I'm like, all right, that's all. That's great. Yeah.
That was my favorite part of the episode.
All right, so let's try to go over some of these comments. Daniel had stated, I was watching the episode at 9 p.m. It was good, and the doctor tricked the Fisher King, and he dies. Okay. Billy says, oh, man, I didn't get an invite. No, I did invite you, actually, Billy. I invited you, and I invited Clockwork Cyborg. I don't know why you guys didn't come in. I don't know why Google doesn't let them know half the times. Billy says, I love the episode. Heh. Okay. So now we go to other comments. Mike D says, these assertions are absurd and ridiculous. This series has been absolutely great. Makes me wonder if they are serious Who fans or just new Who fangirls who missed Tennant and Smith's soap opera, teeny bopper, love angst. Matrix has truly fallen into the fangirl vortex and forgotten what Doctor Who is really about. He has gotten to the point where he is really hating on his favorite show. I don't see that as true at all. He seems to be feigning his opinion of the last two episodes just to act controversial. But come on, they were good. Matrix Force humor is clearly evident as well. You just have to shake your head and face palm seriously. Well, in a comment to that, being that Mike D hated Series 8 and was not going to watch Doctor Who ever again, because in our podcast, that's what he stated, and saying, oh, it's terrible, Doctor Who has failed, Doctor Who is this, Doctor Who is that. That's where the negativity came from that. So I'm glad he's enjoying, I'm glad he's still watching Doctor Who, and he's enjoying it, more than me, actually, with this 2 episodes. And again, in our society, you're allowed to like something and dislike something. If I don't like it, doesn't mean I hate. I don't like 2 episodes. I don't hate like 500 episodes of Doctor Who. Okay, so I don't have to, I'm not looking to trick people, okay, and be fake. If I spend every single day with you on YouTube talking about Doctor Who, that doesn't mean I hate Doctor Who. I wouldn't be talking about Doctor Who, obviously, if I hate it.
It's not that we don't like the show or anything. We're just giving our opinion. And,
our forefathers had fought for this country for freedom of speech and everything else. So if I don't like something, I don't like it. I don't have to be, not do an episode on it or fake about it. I'm sorry, but my opinion is never going to be your opinion. And because my opinion doesn't agree with your opinion doesn't mean you better gather an army and the hell with Matrixlord and his channel, let's take him down. Again, it's my opinion. So let's move on to the next comments. Mike D also says, I guess with Gloria on the cast, at least someone is there to laugh at forced bad humor from Matrixlord. The Whovians cast has truly fallen to an all-time low. Well, I disagree, and the only reason he's saying that is because he's doing his new show, which, great job. I'm really happy that he's going to be doing his own podcast and trying to get some attention. So we're giving you attention. So there you go. So check out Mike D's show, the Who Crew Uncensored. There you go. There's your little plug. But I do have to disagree with you, sir. I don't think that the real Whovians is fallen to an all-time low just because I didn't like an episode. Fair enough. The Galaxy Man Show 2 this was a great episode, so I don't know what you are seeing, Joe. Don't put down the Doctor before the flood, because it was amazing. Well, I didn't put down the Doctor. I had a problem with the plot holes and certain things, so there you go. Then Galaxy Man says is so true. Again, I'm blocked from seeing some comments for some reason, because I allowed comments, but some people just didn't want me to see comments. It's saying 24 comments, yet I only see like 7 or 8. So Minnesota Gallifreyan said, did you watch the same episode? I did. Yes, I did, sir.
Well,
yeah.
You're going to have to accept plot holes. There's just no way around it. I mean,
Right.
There's this other show I watch, and there's plot holes in it too. I mean, you're going to have plot holes in any show you watch.
Right. If you guys are expecting me to give every episode a 10 out of 10, that's not this show. All right? So don't watch this show if you're expecting me to butter everybody up and everything based on fake opinions. I didn't like it as much as, and again, I changed my rating because I did, be fair, watched it again. It's a passing grade, 6.5, but it's not, my cup of tea. Completely. So, I mean, the only things that made it a passing grade is the interactions between Clara and the Doctor, the emotional feeling behind that, what there's a bigger story there, and other things. I did like the Fisher King, but I just wish we would have saw more of him. I did like O'Donnell, which she would have survived. But, you can't have your cake and eat it too. So, what other comments do we have here that I can see? Who Show said something about, basically he's saying that let Matrix have freedom of podcast. Basically, guys, we're free to say whatever we like and dislike and our opinions, and I'm not bashing anybody. I don't expect anybody to bash me for my opinions. There's going to be episodes that I love that you hate. I love the Asylum of the Daleks, and people hated the Asylum of the Daleks. I mean, it doesn't mean that people go after the people that hated the Asylum of the Daleks, So that's it. So only thing I'd say is please leave your comments below about anything. We'll try to say it as long as it's not rated R. And if you are looking for a different type of podcast, you could go check out Mike D and Connor's The Who Show. No, I'm sorry, not The Who Show. The Who Crew Uncensored, and you can also check out the Who Show and all the shows out there to see their different opinion with the Doctor Who. And I do ask everybody to go do their own shows, and talk about Doctor Who. If you hate me so much, make your own podcast, because the more podcasts, the merrier, and then the more viewership, the merrier for Doctor Who, and then it won't get the ratings get slammed, So I do get worried about the BBC. I do get worried about Doctor Who sometimes, being that Doctor Who was canceled in the past. And I'm not saying it's going to get canceled because 2 episodes, but I'm just saying that the more fan support for the show, the better. So go out there and make your podcast and do your thing, and I'm perfectly fine with it. And if you want to come on here, I did invite Connor, and for some reason I couldn't invite Mike D to the 700. I don't know why. I didn't invite Billy. I didn't invite a whole bunch of people. If you do want to be on the show, let me know. Okay, and that's it. And other than that, because that's what we're going to be doing, talking about Doctor Who. So there's not going to be no hate here, people. All right? That's it, guys. Anything you want to say to that?
Oh, that's about it.
Yes. And I'm sorry if you don't like my humor, but get used to it, because I'm probably going to be funny sometimes instead of boring. So there you go. All right, guys. Take care. Bye for now.